Hi, I'm Matt Collins. I'd like to welcome you to Bob Weber Auto Mart on Douglas Avenue here in Racine, across from Douglas Park. We specialize in 1-year-old, low mileage, almost new cars. And if you'd like to stop by and see them, or see them on our website, bobweberautomart.com, we could save you between $5,000 and $10,000 on your next almost new car purchase.
Welcome to another edition of Baseball Junkies. I'm your host, Greg Giesen. To the left of me is Jason O'Connell, and we're here to talk about something that isn't written. The baseball unwritten rules, which has been brought up a lot after the Manny Machado situation and Carlos Gomez's shenanigans with the Pirates and the Braves last year. And there's been a lot of discussion of it. And what happened this weekend, basically, was Manny Machado, the third baseman, Baltimore, much better. Baltimore Orioles had a little difficult time with the Oakland A's. It started on Friday. He's running third base. Josh Donaldson does a swipe tag, hits him in the chest. He loses his balance, falls on his butt while throwing his helmet. And Josh Donaldson, words are exchanged. Bullpen's empty, so do the dugouts. No punches, but a lot of pushing, yelling, and shoving. Fast forward to Sunday. Machado gets thrown at his knee, which he severely injured last season, had reconstructive surgery, and didn't play this year until May. So now, ball comes near his knee, he's had enough of this, he decides I'm taking it into my own hands, or lack thereof, and decides to thrust on the next swing after the ball is already in the catcher's glove, decides to throw the bat. Allegedly, he was trying to throw it at the pitcher, but he was a little off, throwing it down the third base line. That was a terrible throw if he was trying to throw it at the pitcher. But, Donaldson wasn't at third that day either. So then you add into the fact that on his backswing, he's hitting the catcher in the head and allegedly smiling about that, according to the Oakland catcher. And you're just sitting there like, what the hell? Why? But, as you pointed out to me, he had a surgically repaired knee. I think I'd attribute it not as much to the unwritten rules as much to the situations that happened in the game. First of all, on the sweep tag, Machado was a little bit off balance, and it was a clean play by Donaldson. He had to reach out to make sure that he applied the tag on the runner coming by. He happened to knock Machado off balance. And, he's frustrated. He's only a 21-year-old kid. He's making pretty close to the league minimum. He's a future phenom in MLB, but he hasn't made a lot of money yet. Another devastating knee injury could really derail his career, or at least set it back. And to that, he was an all-star last year. He has not hit well this year. There's some frustration with the way he's been playing offensively during the season as well. And, when the pitch was at his knee, it was in a 10-0 game late in the game. So I think he felt like, let's just get through this game, and now you're going to make me do this. You could see the frustration rising for Machado as the things went along, and obviously he did some very immature actions in response to what happened. But again, he's a 21-year-old kid. My brother's 21. Last year, he ran his car after a rainstorm through a puddle and just knocked the whole thing out. He didn't know. He was like, well, maybe we could float. I don't know. But kids I know when I was 21, I wasn't perfect. So I wasn't either. I'm just saying that there was some unwritten rules only because the pitchers come, this guy was a little bit of a tool to my third baseman. I'm going to decide to do something about it. I'm throwing at his knees. Which, you're protecting your third baseman who had nothing happen to him. Right. So you're standing up for him, and now, of course, Machado's got to do something because I'm not going to wait until we play you later in the year. I'm just going to take care of it now because I'm tired of this. I'm just saying that's how World War I started. Exactly. So now we're sitting here, and we're staring at a situation where now people are sitting there going, these unwritten rules are archaic and they're stupid, and you know what? He hits you. Just get over it. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, you don't have a surgically repaired knee. If you got hit on that surgically repaired knee, it's going to hurt a little bit. It's going to be a problem. And I guess when you look at it, I don't mind the unwritten rules. A lot of them are dumb, but and there are a lot of opinions about them where it's veterans trying to keep rookies down or teach them the ropes.
You can understand why they're in place. So the players try to police themselves.
Right.
And a lot of the stuff that happens is the players are trying to take control of the game and say, well, you threw at my guy, so we're gonna throw at you, and then it's going to be over. And, sometimes it ends up escalating, and it especially has a chance to escalate when the games get out of hand. I think if it was a 4-3 game in the 8th inning, you wouldn't have had anybody throwing at Machado's knee because that runner's too important.
Well, and to a degree, you look also at like the David Price Big Papi thing. I mean, Price comes inside on him after a terrible playoff series against the Red Sox, and Big Papi just owning him. Right. He comes inside and basically says, you know what, I'm going to hit you just to say I'm not intimidated by you, and that's, I don't like the way you stare at everything, so, and it goes in there, bench is warned, then he hits Carp on the wrist. Now, that was unintentional because Papi got hit on the butt. Now, I get that. That's intentional. We all know when you get hit on the back or on the butt or in the legs, that's intentional. You get hit on the wrist coming inside, I don't think necessarily that's intentional. But either way, he doesn't get thrown out of the game after warnings are issued. And then there's a war of words, and, Price is sitting there like, well, I think a lot. Papi loses respect for Price. Price goes, oh, too bad. I think a lot more people gain respect for me for what I did than I lost.
Right.
And then Mark Mulder goes, yes, I did. And I sit there and I keep looking at this like, okay, look, in the old days, and when Jarvis Brown was doing this with me, he'd be sitting there saying, yeah, I got a lot of fastballs to my back. I mean, these are the red heaters, and they're doing it on purpose, and they know it's coming. But you had series like the Cardinals and the Dodgers back in the day where, Ian Slaughter looked up and said, hey, if two guys didn't get plumbed, it wasn't a Cardinal-Dodger series. I mean, we weren't doing things right. And you knew if you did anything outside of the norm, you were going to get hit. And now you have guys staring at home runs, staring at triples, staring at doubles, and you're just sitting there like, okay, when's it going to end? And then they complain that, the pitcher got mad. Okay, in my mind, you got into the pitcher's head. Congratulations, just don't do anything and just sit there and smile. But
I'm still not sure exactly what Garrett Cole was upset about it. I mean, Carlos Gomez was going to he still ended up on third. He wasn't going to get an inside-the-park home run out of the play.
He was very fast. I mean, when Alan and I discussed it a couple of weeks ago on this show, he said Carlos Gomez was quicker to third than any of the Pirate guys that hit doubles were to second.
Right.
But Carlos Gomez was trying for third, and he's a lot quicker than any of the Pirate guys that were hitting doubles, unless McCutchen was, and he's even faster than McCutchen. So, I don't necessarily worry about the times here.
But there's a fine line. Bryce Harper was chastised by his manager all season for not hustling. Mm-hmm. He took him out of the game before. He comes back in the next day. He hits a triple. He slides into third, breaks his thumb. He's out for 2 months.
Well, yes, but okay. If you're Gomez or if you're Harper, whoever you are, if you're sitting there, I think what Cole's only point was, hey, if you hit a home run and you stare at it, you know what? I gave up the home run.
But it didn't make any difference.
It's a triple.
I mean,
it just won.
But if Gomez had only made it to second instead of third, which
wasn't going to happen,
because he was admiring, maybe it took a better hop off the wall, outfielder got it in a little quicker. That only plays to the pitcher's advantage. Why would he get upset that he's not playing as hard as he, like, if I'm playing in a game of basketball and the guy who's guarding me is not giving 100% effort and I'm beating him because of it, I don't get mad at him because he's not giving 100% effort.
Well, I think, I had an argument with a friend of mine and I said, the problem in that whole scenario, look, Cole was frustrated. He went over, he said some things. All right, you know what? He said some things. It's a sticks and stones sort of thing.
Right.
Except Gomez didn't take it as a sticks and stones. See, at that moment, I think you and I can agree, If I hear him yelling at me,
Right, you're going to respond.
I know I'm going to sit there and go, I'm in your head, I'm in your head.
You're a little bit more 8-year-old.
Yes, I am.
Alpha males in Major League Baseball.
Yes, but I'm also sitting there thinking, Braun's going to have an easier time, Scooter's going to have an easier time, because he's not thinking about them, he's thinking about me. That's what I said before. I still think that's true. He took that next step and went after Cole. That's the,
Right.
Okay, I don't know, and then Cole, because of the unwritten rules, then the next time they face each other, throws at him and hits him in the butt. Okay, fine. He threw a changeup at him. He didn't throw a dead red fastball. He threw a changeup. It was just like, okay, boom, it's over with. Move on. And he ran the first, too, which I respected that on go-go.
These are born out of frustration. In the minor leagues this year, Cincinnati Reds ace Matt Latos has been on the DL all season. In the first game of the season, he was pitching in Double-A against the Cubs affiliate. Cubs' #1 prospect, Chris Bryant, took a 3-0 pitch over the parking lot against him. The next at bat, Latos drilled him.
Yeah.
I mean, this is in Double-A, and Matt Latos is a very good Major League pitcher.
Yes.
When he comes off the DL, there's no reason not to expect that he's going to return to a top-flight form. If you don't want to get shown up by Double-A players, then don't give up home runs to Double-A players.
I agree. That one's, that one just shouldn't have happened, because the reality of it is, he's not showing you up. You threw a bad pitch. If this is at the majors and he's a rookie and you give it up, okay, yeah, I get it. Indoctrination. But this is Double-A.
These guys are professional athletes. They should have thicker skins.
This is his learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
This is not your time to get mad. Let it go. You'll have more than enough time to. It's like Cole Hamels the first time he saw Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
Boom. Okay, you're going to do that? I'm stealing second, third, and I'm going to get home. Guess what? It's 1-0. Thank you for putting me on base.
Exactly.
That's the way to react. I think that's fine. And that's, I think, the way
where it hurts most on the scoreboard.
Right. But that's also part of the unwritten rules, too. You go to first. You don't start a fight. You go to first. You just deal with it, unless all of a sudden it starts going insane. But those are the things you do. And I don't mind the unwritten rules. I wish they were written down, at least to the point where people could understand them and you could see them. But then they wouldn't be unwritten. And
they wouldn't be as subjective as they
right, and they're not as open to interpretation. I think it works to police, but you also don't want people to get hurt, and I think that is the bigger problem.
Absolutely.
So that should do it for us. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you have a good day.